Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 44. Let's see how it goes. Alright, so last time was a whole shit ton of attacks, and this time it's not fucking different. So, again, in an effort to try to get through this in a reasonable amount of time, we are not going to watch everything. We're going to watch a lot of things, mind you, but we're not going to watch everything. So, we have completed Blood Magic 6. Nice. We've done some reanimation, and then we have battles galore. So, we have been attacked in Brightgate, and we have lost there because we didn't really have any forces to defend in Brightgate. Worries. We attacked in Osens, and we won. Against a single Spirehorn warrior. We were attacked in Sanafe, and we won because Sanafe has... This is actually funny to watch, right? Sanafe has just a shit ton of PD in it because we got a random PD event there. We got like a plus 15 province defense event there or something like that. So... this little swarm of Spirehorn warriors and an area Seraph have bitten off a lot. So we get a mist form and we get an air shield. Amusing. Very amusing because of what happens later. And we get an air elemental. Okay, so these guys are going to sit here and defend while the air elemental goes and kills everything. But, yeah, sure. That's gonna happen. And it's actually happening relatively well. The air elemental routs the base deer tribe, right? That's no bueno. But now we've got this kind of swarm of phantasmal warriors inbound, and they're fighting these Spirehorns. The air elemental is in amidst the archers now, which is no bueno. It hasn't really taken any damage. But it's up against... Ooh, I think we either just killed or we just routed the final two Spirehorns. So now it's just the Aria Seraph alone, and the Aria Seraph's fatigued. And the Aria Seraph's mist form, yes, but these guys have magic weapons. So... it comes down to, can these guys harm the Aria Seraph? Oh! We got a pop, and he's bleeding now. And I think we got rid of the air elemental. I think the horde of phantasmal warriors actually hacked the air elemental down. And now he has routed, but he's still fatigued. And so... he dies. Nice. So it's kind of funny, right? This province has all this free PD. But he's still almost won. Air Elemental's scurry. Okay, cool. We attacked in Gwyrith, and this is actually somewhat interesting to watch, so we'll watch this as well. We go up against not only the Spirehorn Warrior PD here, but also the Khan mercenaries. Okay, so a bunch of barbarian horsemen, and for efficiency's sake, keep in mind we took air shield out of our setup, so that's bad. But that does mean that we get mist form off first, which is great because we are about to get lance charged by a whole shit ton of Spirehorn warriors. And then things get really interesting, right? Because the Spirehorns have magic weapons. They can absolutely pop my mist form, absolutely pop my glamour. I'm fighting. Then the barbarian horsemen come in, and they get real close, and they just barrage me, and boom. My glamour's gone. Mist form is still up, but glamour is now gone. Okay? That's bad. And then I go back into my script, right? Because I only ever did mist form out of my script. So the rest of it is mist form, blessing, fly. So, I'm just getting pelted with arrows and slowly but surely whittled down. I cast fly, and I go up and over all of these barbarian horsemen all the way to the back against the Khan, and I'm still getting pelted. I only have 9 HP left. The Khan goes down. I go back up into the air and right back down on their leadership, and they are broken, and I have 8 health. And then I fly behind them, fortunately, so I'm not actively, like, blocking anyone. That went about as perfectly for me as it could have gone. That was very lucky. We probably... Ooh, you tap-tapping boy. We probably should have lost that Van Jarl this time around. Good job, Van 5. Or Jarl 5. Nicely done. Good shit. So that's a fun one to watch. So that was Gwyrith. We attack, or no, we get to witness an attack in Mammoth Grove between Femoria and Calum. It's really not much. It's just long dead horsemen charge, basically. So they go whoop and charge, and they go whoop and they kill. Probably didn't need to watch that, but I know people, like, that's the point of playing the game, or watching the game is watching battles, right? So we've got an attack in Lyratos, and we win. This is a substantial amount of Spirehorn warriors led by an Area Seraphine, but amusingly, it's an Aria Seraphine and not an Aria Seraph. So he summons of courage, and he does Sermon of Courage again, and then he gets shot in the head and dies. Which is hilarious, because as these Spirehorns come down, they kill a bunch, and they almost insta-kill our Van here. Almost. But they are now routed, and they flee. This also should have been a loss, but it was not. We get to witness a battle in Amiradon between Tirnanog and me. This is actually, they were just taking this province back because this was part of their original holdings, so no big deal. They just messaged me too late for me to actually not leave a PD here, so. We get attacked in Kronberg, and we win again, utilizing defensive tactics where we know what their main tactics are. What are their main tactics? It's either going to be a Spirehorn warrior up, down, or it's going to be an air elemental up, down, or it's going to be a combination of the two. That's what his raiding choices are. Or he can send in Area Seraphines and do some fire elementals, but those are significantly weaker on their capabilities. So our best bet is almost always to just have a defensive cordon, because it turns into this. Firehorns go up. Firehorns come down. And against something like Hirdman, where the Spirehorns have a significantly harder time killing on that first pop, the Hirdman will turn around and dead, dead. Instantly. And having a little bit of guarding on your leader here helps prevent him from getting just immediately popped. So two Hirdmen down, an entire force, because this I think they do have a province adjacent, so they might have retreated. We attack in Ungbeloth and win. We're gonna skip all the little raiding ones. We get attacked in Cursed Land and lose. We attack in Pergami and win. We attack in Towers of Heaven and win. We attack in Swande and win. We get attacked in Pulmonia and we lose, unfortunately. We get attacked in Yellow Mountains and we lose. We attack in Marverni and we win. We attack in Laria, and we win. We get to witness a battle in Blue Moss Forest. We will watch this because we want to take a look at what TNN is rocking. So this is a She-Lord, who is fully kitted out. And now this guy is the equivalent of like a Van Jarl, right? Same tier as a Van Jarl. And this is a full complement of equipment. So this is pricey to put on a She-Lord or something like a Van Jarl, right? But if you put all of this gear onto them, they're significantly less likely to die. But when they die, it's gonna hurt a whole lot worse, right? It's the trade-off. So this guy is rocking a Frostbrand, Vine Shield, Ice Helmet, Chainmail of Displacement, which is great. Girdle of Might, which is great. The reinvigoration really helps with these raiders, and the extra strength is actually pretty welcome because it helps boost you into that range where you're really killing. And then, of course, the Storm Spool, because facing Calum, you gotta have that shock resistance. Okay, so this is very cool. A very similar setup to what we are already doing. Right? Except instead of Girdle of Might, which is great, fantastic, we are using Rings of the Warrior. You know? So, he goes through the process of blessing, and his bless, attack skill 2, shock resistance, poison resistance, fire resistance, defense, HP, strength. Super strong now, really killy, high defense, good reinvigoration, right? Definitely not going to go down to any weird elemental effects or anything like that. Only way this guy's going down is if a lucky situation pops his glamour and he gets harassed down severely on his defense skill and he starts taking wounds, right? The only way this guy's going down. Or I forgot, because he's an elf. We are not elves. Well, are we elves? I don't remember. I don't think we have iron vulnerability, which I think is... We'll double check that. Anyways, there's not a lot here to challenge him. So, he gets his blessing off, and he casts lightning bolt. Really? He might just be set to cast. That's pretty interesting. Or his script might have just gotten interrupted. Anyways, that guy is armed to the teeth. So, very, very cool. We attack in Felicia, We win. We get pinged in Sarmatia, from Sarmatia in Ard. Or Calum gets pinged and loses. And then we take Ard. Easy peasy. We attack in Titan's Breath. Peaks, and this is somewhat interesting to watch, so we'll take a look. This is up against the Foul Spawn mercenary group, which we basically just brutalize. Chop chop, our herdmen are... These Foul Spawn are incapable of doing anything, and the elephant could hurt, but the elephant on its own is just going to get surrounded and hacked down to pieces. So, fun. Easy win in Titan's Breath. We get attacked in Aldgold, but we defeat it. It's just a scout ping. We attack in Obsidian Waste and win. We are attacked in Sotera and lose. We attack in Great Woods and win. We attack in Menace and win. We attack in Roka and win. Our undefended province in Iron Peaks is conquered. This was intentional. We were giving this over to Femoria because it was a part of their original holdings. And then we are attacked in Royal Forest and we lose. Okay. And then we have Battle in Sarmatia. Let us watch. All right. This time we have all of our Van Jarls and Van Heers, all of our Hell Herdings, our Hengadrots, everything. We have our Hell Herdings in the front, and they are set straight to attack. No waiting. They want to get in the gap and against what is unfortunately not much left. So the only real things he has going on here are his gods, his white mages, right? And his Witch King, right? So this thing could produce a shit ton of Horde of Skeletons if it was given the option. This guy does have a lifelong protection, so that is potentially a lot of imps over the course of time. Other guys not really rocking much. But Storm, Natural Storm is immediately up. Storm Power immediately goes up. Our Hell Herdings are already through the gap. Closing. Rigor Mortis comes out, which is really interesting. So they put up Relief, they put up Rigor Mortis. That's really interesting. This is powerful magic that could really have made the difference in the last battle if we had gotten to that point. I don't know if he didn't have it then, right? But it is what it is. He gets surrounded, and the lightning bolts go boom, boom, boom. I think we actually probably do the majority of our own damage here. But there's just too many. There is just too many. Relief is down. Rigor Mortis is still up. Now it's down. And now all that remains is the War Prophet. And that is the end of Sarmatia. Very nice. Okay, so what did we lose? We lost 4 Hell Herdings, 2 are primarily our own stuff, I would assume. 2 Jade Maidens, 5 Long Deads, and 1 Valkyrie. We gained an Eye of the Grey Ones. It's on one of our Van Jarls now. He just whoop, plopped it into an eye socket. And we got a Thistle Mace, which is nice. Okay, Sarmatia is done, dead and gone. Got a couple of events. Lost population in Menace, gained population in Srim Clever, and some minor income boost. Lost population in Laria. Gained a lab in Rame and got some gems and a burning blade. And then in Obsidian Waste, we found the lair of a hideous troll. Got a little bit of gold, got a bunch of different gems, which is cool, and got a Bane blade. We were attacked in Menace, and we did succeed in driving them off, but we lost most of our forces here. It shows we lost 2 Hell Herdings, but 2 other Hell Herdings routed. So this group is pretty much out of commission. They're gonna have to go reconvene. We are under siege in Brightgate. Can't do anything about it though, or they can't break our fortifications. Great Woods is unharmed. Whatever. Actually, there's no one there anymore because we didn't pay for those mercs. We have destroyed the fort in Marverny, or we are destroying the fort in Marverny. Moderately damaged. All the gold, severely damaged. And, of course, Calum is the man with the money right now, so they picked up the Windlord and Bernard's Brave Men. So we're gonna have to put Bernard's Brave Men and the Windlord down. So we'll see how that goes. Suffering, pain, and woe, the gods of Sarmatia have been permanently vanquished. GG, Sarmatia. Okay, what is happening this turn? Well, last turn and the turn before that went exceedingly well for us in the raid game. You have to keep in mind, every single target that we attacked, we won. That's big, right? Even it got pretty close on some of them, but that's big. Every single target that we've raided, that we've attacked, we have won. Not all of the targets that Calum is attacking are wins. So the scale continues to slide, right? That is a big deal. A big part of this going back and forth on the raiding scenario is how efficiently do you raid, right? Do you win the majority of your raid targets, and then when you do lose a target, what does it cost you, right? Does it cost you a couple gems and a little bit of gold? Does it cost you, like in Tyrannog's case, right? That She-Lord, that She-Lord's gonna kick fucking ass for a long time. But if he gets unlucky, he could lose it really quickly. If it runs into the wrong set of stuff, they could kill the shit out of it. And that means that he loses all of that gear, he loses all of that money, right? For me, right, losing a Jarl, losing a Van Jarl is expensive. But I've invested very few gems into them. So losing one is going to be less of a pain than losing a She-Lord, for example, that's fully kitted out. And then you have things like my little van here groups with Helheimings, right? When I lose one of them, what exactly am I losing? Well, I'm losing 40 gold or whatever, and then I'm losing another. How much are those? 65 gold per, right? So I'm losing sub 500 gold each time. That's expensive, you know? Whereas an Arya Seraph and 20 Spirehorn Warriors, super cheap, right? Super cheap. Super throwaway cheap. Just check real quick. So, Spirehorn Warriors, right? 10 gold a pop, right? You send 10 of these, 100 gold. You lose 10 of these, 100 gold. Whatever. I lose 5 Helheimings, and that's about not about. That's 325 gold, something like that, right? That's a lot of gold. But as we've seen, I'm way more likely to continuously succeed with those Helheimings than he is to continuously succeed with those Spirehorn Warriors, right? They hit the wrong target, they have a bad break, etc., and then all of a sudden is gone. So what are we doing this turn? We are continuing much the same. We are raiding in a number of locations. We're raiding all around Tyrannog's land. In fact, we're actually pressing forward. We're gonna hit basically everything that was Marverni, except for Cern and Silent Wetlands. One, because I don't want to face the Troglodytes at this exact moment, and two, because Femoria has told me to not go for Cern because he's trying to go for Cern. Okay, that's fine. I don't think he's going to get Cern anytime soon, especially not with 60 Furbolg warriors, like, whatever. But we'll see. In the meantime, we're hitting, like I said, we're hitting almost everything in old Marverni territory. We're hitting every location that we have been hit. We're hitting Brightgate, we're hitting Pulmania, and then we're actually raiding into Agarthan territory. And the plan here is to try to start applying pressure on Calum in other locations. But here's a deal, right? I do not want to be the one doing all of the work. If I do a great job against Calum, and I raid the shit out of him, and I push him out of Marverni, I take all of Marverni lands, and I'm pushing him out of Agartha, take all the Agarthan lands, then suddenly I'm the next Calum, and I just get jumped on by Femoria and Abyssia and Tyrannog, right? I don't want that to happen. That is not in the game plan. Hard pass. So, I'm going to nip at the heels of Calum over here, and I'm hopefully going to try to drive him out of the Marverni territory, yes, but after that, my plan is to start focusing on other areas. Specifically, we've got 1, 2, 3 thrones that are not controlled on our borders, and we want to change that. Oh, and we didn't go for Y Spring Grove. Should we go for Y Spring? Can we go for Y Spring Grove easily? Yeah, we can send this. Oh, we can send this guy over here, I'm sure. There we go. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we're targeting all over the place. Big important targets, right? We are hitting Florian this turn with a small raiding group. Florian is on the border of Tirnanog. I think it was actually originally Tirnanog's stuff. I'm not sure though. But it's on Tirnanog's border, right? And we want to stop production locations. If we can prevent locations close to our lands, basically we're trying to elongate our arm. We want to take the war away from our heartland and push it over into Agartha and into Calem, right? Or into Saramatia, Agartha, Calem. That's where we want to be fighting. We don't want to be fighting in Helheim lands. We want to be fighting in those lands. So to do that, we have to hit his fortifications and prevent him from recruiting in those fortifications, recruiting, ritual casting, etc. We've already hit Marverni. We've already hit Aldgold. We are going to hit Florian now, and CERN is kind of the big one. CERN is the big one, but again, Memoria has made a little bit of a stink because I bumped with him in Iron Peaks, and he lost a whole bunch of Numidian warriors. Sorry, bud. You didn't need to lose those Numidian warriors if they were scripted a little bit better. But that being said, we're gonna try to leave that open for now because we're trying to be diplomatic. But if CERN becomes a problem, then we will have to do something about it. Okay. I anticipate losing Aldgold or Marverni shortly. I expect that he will attack with a force from CERN into either Marverni or Aldgold. I think he is probably going to let us get away with Aldgold overall, because Aldgold is kind of shit. It's a shit province. It's got a well of pestilence. I actually had to go around it with Com 1 and his Heermen, which, by the way, are probably heading towards Florian or towards Marverni, depending on the situation. But yeah, so that's kind of important attacks is Florian, and I am anticipating losing in Marverni or Aldgold. But the point is making sure that we keep the pressure there. He's got to keep sending stuff in. So what else are we doing? We're moving a lot of stuff around from Saramatia. We're moving back to Tiny Willow to continue blood hunting. Hopefully that is going to go just fine. We are researching a bunch in Saramatia. We are also patrolling in Saramatia with a massive army, so if anything comes at us, we should be okay. I don't anticipate him making the jump from Pustinia all the way directly onto Saramatia immediately. He could do that. He could bring in a bunch of Spirehorn warriors, and that's why I'm patrolling, just in case. So we'll see how it goes. And I think that's all the movement that really matters. What else are we doing for important stuff? Continuing to forge, right? We are adding in a Vine Shield this turn. And that Vine Shield is going to be for our Ice Devil. We are going to bind our first Ice Devil. Now, there are 6 Ice Devils, and a couple of them, one of them has 2 inherent fist weapons, so you can't actually use a Vine Shield, but the other 5 can use Vine Shields. And then, of those other 5, there's one that if we get that one, we're probably not going to send him into battle because he is water astral, and having astral right now, we have such limited astral, just our Frostfather, right, that we're probably unwilling to risk astral. So if we get that guy, if that's the first Ice Devil that we get, we'll probably just astral probing or arcane probing with him, just cuz. But if we get any of the other 4, we're going to equip them out. Or if we get, Double Fist Guy, we're still going to equip him. It's just he won't have the same stuff, basically. Oh, also, No, that's fine. We have put the Hydra Skin armor on Jarl 24, just because I kind of expect him to die eventually, but it's whatever. We have Frostbrand, Dragon Helmet, Boots of the Messenger, Storm Spool, Ring of Regeneration. We're gonna have a Vine Shield. So what is the other thing that is going to go on our Ice Devil? That's gonna be a Shademail Harbican. So Shademail Harbican gives you stealth. It's low stealth. It's not very much stealth. But it gives you stealth, and it's very important to be able to attack, move away, attack, move away, attack, move away. So we're going to be doing that. Actually, I've been very aggressive. I have not been stealth raiding here lately. I've just been straight attacking constantly. So we might have to mix that up in the near future. But for right now, I'm more interested in keeping the pressure on Calum, so the pedal's kind of to the middle right now. So we're casting our first Ice Devil. We should have enough to do another Ice Devil next turn, because fortunately we have +5 Blood Slaves per month. So we should be able to do another Ice Devil. And then we are probably going to start casting some other stuff. Thanks to this Thistle Mace, which we could have made our own Thistle Mace, but, you know, we got a free Thistle Mace. Our Frostfather could be Nature 5. And there's no big nature people right now. Marverni was kind of the big nature person. I guess TNN is the other potentially big nature person. But we're deviating slightly from what our plan was, and we're gonna run up to Alteration 5 and potentially throw up Mother Oak. That could be pretty interesting for us. It also gives us access to Wooden Warriors, which I don't think is going to be super useful, but we do have a couple of these Jade Sorceresses that have rolled a Nature 2 and a Woodhinge Druid that is Nature 2. So we could get away with doing some Nature 2 stuff. So Wooden Warriors could be somewhat interesting. And then, you know, as far as other stuff that we get, Iron Warriors is somewhat good, and we can cast that, right? I say somewhat good. It's fine. Maws of the Earth is actually quite useful in a lot of different situations, especially useful potentially against cavalry like TN. And everything else is kind of whatever. Invulnerability will be useful for us later for our Death casters. But yeah, we might, this might not happen, but for right now, we're going to pop Alt 4, because we want that for Liquid Body. And then we're going to pop Alteration 5, and if things pan out, we might just throw up Mother Oak. Because if we get a Mother Oak, right, suddenly we have 14 Nature Gems per turn to play with. That means that we can throw out things like Vine Shields way more without being as concerned, right? So that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big scenario. To the point to where I'm even somewhat considering touching base. I'm probably not going to do this, but I'm considering touching base with Tirnanog and saying, hey, I can put up Mother Oak. If you will assist me in putting up Mother Oak and not assist in taking it down, then I will share some of the Nature Gems with you, right? So, because even if I'm just adding 5 Nature Gems per turn, going to 9 Nature Gems per turn is way better than 4. But I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably just going to risk the Nature Gems. And if we're successful, we're successful. If we're not, we're not. But that is about it. That's the big moves, the big plays for this turn. Really want to get... So we're making a little bit of a pit stop, right? But I really want to get our blood economy back going. And I really want to get back into Blood, because I want to get up to Blood 7, and I want to see if there's any Archdevils left. Because there might not be any left. Abyssia might have already gotten there. Because that is, honestly, that's probably the big play for Abyssia. And we're turn 44. It's going to be... Shit. It's going to be... Even if I went straight for Blood Magic, Blood 7 right now, it would be 4 turns. It'll be turn 50, turn 55 before I get to Blood 7 with the other stuff that I'm trying to pit stop and grab. So we might have missed our shot for Archdevils. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, anyways, that is the end of the turn. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Oh, and caveat, right? All of these attack orders might change between now and the next video, because I am coordinating pretty heavily with Tir na Nog and with Fomoriya. So if one of them calls me off of a location or tries to get me to target another location, that's entirely possible. But this is the tentative current battle plan. So we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.